start by talking about the Warriors winning last night, 117-114 over the Toronto Raptors. A close game, closer than I think most people thought, and in part because Steph Curry exited the game in the third quarter. He took a fall, legs. Some falls look bad. This one sounded bad. Did you hear it on the broadcast? The way he hit the ground, landed right on his tailbone. It sounded like a sack of potatoes. It was such a thud onto the basketball court. It sounds like it's not too serious, but he is going to miss the upcoming game and upcoming weekend. So what did you think when you saw that injury?
Yeah, same as you. The sound was terrible. And then when you watch the replay, a lot of times when guys fall and it's a tailbone type injury, and usually that's because most of the time a guy, one of two ways, he's either taking a charge, right? It happens, and then you fall backwards, you don't catch yourself properly, or you get taken out of the air. It's not really either one with Curry because he wasn't he doesn't elevate that high, but he kind of was going to shoot a layup, and the contact came across the lane and it hit him at just the right time. So he had no leverage in his upper body, and his whole upper body swung backwards, and he lands on his tailbone without bracing his fall. And it was weird because a lot of those you hit, and it's almost like a rolling fall. Like you don't land full weight out of the air on that part of your body. That's exactly what Curry did. And he grabbed it immediately. He's writhing in pain. Like the ball's going the other direction. He doesn't make the trip up the floor. Next thing you know, they show him and he's sort of limping gingerly to the locker room. That could be a very serious injury. Now, I communicated with somebody with the Warriors today just to check. They said MRI was negative. He's going to be reevaluated on Monday. He's not playing tomorrow. Certainly could have been a lot worse. No structural damage there, which a lot of times, if it's really bad, you get a hairline fracture. Right. In your tailbone or your lower back. And guess what? That derails Golden State's season if that ended up being the case. So it sounds like they avoided the worst, but now it's just a matter of when does he get to the point where he's not playing with an incredible amount of soreness in his back. He's going to miss at least tomorrow, and we'll see beyond that.
And you said not, derail the season. And while it sounds like he'll be back and there's enough time before the playoffs, you hope that injury's out of his mind. It's in his rear view mirror by the time the playoffs arrive. But we're at the point of the season where games matter now, single games. They are 1 game up on the Clippers, 2 games up on the Timberwolves, 2 games back for the Memphis Grizzlies. And this is one of those things where you look at it and say, okay, he misses 2-3 games. He plays with a bruise on his tailbone for a couple games. It could be the difference between a game or two in the standing. So I think that's at least somewhat significant.
It is. And I mean, listen, this is what you went out and got Jimmy Butler for, to not only in case there's an injury, be able to carry your offense, or even in a game, if on those moments when Curry's out. And Butler's been able to do it a couple of times now. He had a triple-double in this game. Didn't shoot well, but ended up filling the stat sheet. And then very strange anomaly from this game. Draymond Green took 14 threes. 14 threes in a game. I mean, he's a reluctant three-point shooter. It's been better this year, like especially over the last couple of months. He's more eager to take it. He's not like avoiding it. He's taking it when it's there. But with Curry out, he goes and he hunts them. He ends up with 14 three-point attempts. I don't know if I didn't read the article in the game. I don't know if that's his career high. I'm guessing it is. I don't think Draymond Green's ever taken more than 14 threes in a game. That would shock me if that were the case. So they get 21 out of him. Kuminga plays really well off the bench, gives them 16. It's a bad team they're playing, but it doesn't matter. You lose Curry, it's all hands on deck and just get it done. And they did because, look, they're trying to get that 6th spot at all costs.
The crazy stat was that Draymond Green has led the Warriors in scoring 9 times in his career. 7 of them came in his first 2 seasons, all the way back to all the way back to 2016. He had not led the team in scoring since 2016 till last week when he did it. And then he did it a second time last night. So twice in a week after going almost 10 years without leading him scoring. But we'll have to wait and see. I had the Warriors penciled in as just one of the top 6 seeds, maybe even catching number 5 because of how hot they'd been. But now you look at it and say just a little injury like this could be the difference. We'll have to see how it plays out. The next one I have for you, the Pacers win in overtime over the Nets, 105-99. The Nets are such an interesting team. They trade away their pieces. They're a tanking team, and yet they're close in every game. They have some nice wins, and they pushed a Pacers team into overtime, a shorthanded Pacers team. What do you make of that outcome?
Well, listen, you're right about the Nets. First of all, they do find themselves in a lot of close games, so give them credit. They continue to play hard, even though they're not really playing for anything. So they're not an easy team to play. You still see the Pacers playing without Halliburton and what a difference that makes for them just in terms of their pace. 105 points, pretty anemic night for them offensively. Typically, they're going to be pushing 120 if he's playing. So without him, they don't have really anybody to create that. They've got some other guards. That's not really their game. Nembhard is in a lot of ways is more like a point guard than a two guard, but he doesn't push the pedal the way that Halliburton does. So that's going to be a little bit more of a struggle offensively when he's out. I think, again, same situation, just fortunate to get the win. They're battling with Milwaukee for this 4-5 situation, which is really, really important, man. You're talking about home court in the first round against a really good team. That could matter in terms of who wins that series. So good win for them.
Yeah. We're talking about Steph. Now we're talking about Halliburton. Jokic is out for Friday night. I know you caught a game with Denver on ESPN. He didn't play. There's a lot of players right now in the NBA who, if they're the piece missing, the team is completely different. I think Curry, Halliburton, Jokic, they all fit in that category.
They do. In fact, man, oh man. So we ESPN, we added that game Wednesday night. Denver Lakers. That was a late ad. I was excited as hell about it. Mike Breen on the call. So we're super excited. We got this game added to our schedule, and they go out there. No Jokic, no Murray, no LeBron. Now, what did we get? We got Luka.
Got the Luka show.
We got Luka going off, but the problem is, Adam, he went off to such an extent the game was over. So we didn't want that. Give us a storyline. He gave us a storyline. He came out. His first 3 buckets were all within 5 feet of the rim. 2 of them were really easy. One was a 3-point play over Aaron Gordon. 3 different defenders. 3 layups. 7 points. Well, you know what that's going to do for a score, man. That's setting up your deep game. So then he went to that. He hit 3 threes in the first quarter. He got to the line a few more times. You look up, he's got a 20-point first quarter. Great talking point, eye candy, visually awesome. I'm talking about it on the broadcast. The problem is the game was over at that point. We don't want that. Yeah. You don't want that. The fourth quarter, Denver basically emptied their entire bench and played it a whole quarter that way.
That was an unwatchable game. That's tough for you.
Very, very disappointing. I'll tell you something else about the night. A couple things. The stars were out, man, and they were out because they were expecting, look, man, yeah, Luka and LeBron, that's a show. And look, when you buy those tickets, maybe some of those people, you don't know if LeBron's going to be out, whatever. You still got Luka. You're a home team fan. But I'm telling you, I was around the court before the game, just kind of milling about and different people shouting your name, whatever. You go over, say hi to people. And they were all just kind of getting the news that Jokic wasn't playing. Yeah. And a lot of these people went to see him. In fact, I'll tell you this, the JW Marriott, which is right there next to the arena at LA Live, it's literally, you're talking about a 2-minute walk into the building. You should have seen